Okay, today we're going to be doing looking at some of the common faults that you might find if you're doing this test route. This is one of modern test routes. So the test center is just over across a bit further up. So we're going to be starting from here. So this one, we're going to go straight ahead at the traffic lights. Directions for Saturn. So you begin by, again, observations beginning from the left blind spot, left mirror, head, back, right mirror, blind spot your right, right signal, final check to your right. Again, when you're coming out of here, it's a very busy sort of road. Traffic gets, sometimes it can get a bit too heavy. So again, be mindful not to avoid pulling out if you got traffic coming, to avoid crossing the path or forcing the cars to slow down. If it means waiting, take your time and wait until you've got a clear path before you decide to pull out. So the other mistake here would be, there's a junction on the left side, just as you enter the test, as you go to the test center, this little bit here on the left, you should try and avoid blocking that junction on the left, because there's a car which is about to come out. Again, if you end up blocking that junction, that could be another problem. So always try and keep it clear. Now, if you're going straight ahead, you need to try and keep the car in the left lane. There are two lanes. They can both go straight, but ideally you should try and keep the car in the left lane. Position for normal driving, we always try and maintain the car in the left lane. And then, now this road here, again, it gets a bit too narrow with cars parked on the left side. So try and avoid getting too close. Maintain a reasonable distance from those parked cars, at least a car's length. Sorry, roughly a meter from those parked cars, roughly a door's width, to avoid, in case somebody has to open the door, they still have enough room to come out. Now we're coming towards a mini roundabout. Now at the mini roundabout, we're going to be turning left. Now this is one of those small closed mini roundabouts, so we're gonna have to slow down and drop it back to gear number 1. Then you can have a look. So check your mirrors, center and left signal. Now there are cars coming from the opposite direction which are coming straight, meaning that we can go with those cars. In that situation, we didn't have to slow down a lot more to look on the right side, but otherwise, if the cars hadn't been coming straight, we would have been slowing down a bit more to do the observations. Now sometimes they may ask you to pull up on this road here, which is a bit, again, you've got driveways on the left, so try and stop at least in between the driveways rather than blocking one complete driveway. So if you're coming to pull up, you can, okay, I'll pull up a bit further up. So make sure that before the signal, you go past the junction, then you put the signal, then you come and pull up, and then try to make sure that you pull up between driveways so that you don't end up blocking one complete driveway. Okay, we're going to move off from here. Again, get the biting point, do the full observations, signal, final check, and then we move off. Now at the mini roundabout, we're going to be turning right. First exit, we're turning right anyway. Now again, this is one of those small close mini roundabouts. Signal would be on. Now there's a car coming from the opposite direction. Okay, he's gone. Now you're looking out on the right, making sure there are no cars coming from the right, looking clear, and then you turn. And then We take the next left. Now the next left is just again quite close, a bit tight as well, so you need to be coming in very slow, looking out, because it's a narrow sort of road, cars parked on the left side, making the road a bit too narrow, so you need to be looking out, making sure that you don't end up causing don't end up into coming traffic. Then we're coming to the end of this road. Now again, try and keep it. It's a bit of a narrow sort of road, but now on this side we're gonna end up on the right side because we've got a queue of cars on the left side, but we're going to be turning right. So again, be mindful of any cars that could be coming because you're on the wrong side of the road. So you come in. Now the other thing is there's a bit of a hill at this point. It's a bit, you need to try and again, if you can use the handbrake, that would make your work a little bit easier, so that you don't end up stalling the car as you're trying to move off. So use the handbrake, get the clutch to a good biting point, and then set some gas. Now the next instruction would be turning right. Now if you're turning right here, you got a sign, the no right turn sign, you can see it. And then the mistake people tend to do is they almost turn into this road on the right, but this is a dual carriageway, so if you look on the right, it's a no entry, so we can't actually turn in there, so we have to sort of come out, but slowly, looking out for cars coming from the right. And then if it's clear, then we cross over, but with the signal still on. And then when we come to this section of the dual carriageway, that's where we stop, and then look out for cars coming from the left side, make sure there's nothing coming, and then you merge. Sometimes the other mistake people tend to do, once they cross over into the middle section of the dual carriageway, they end up going on the right side, which again is the wrong position to maintain. So you should try and keep it left. And then we're going straight to the end. Now at the end of this road, we're going to be turning right. Now again, this is another dual carriageway, so what we need to do, you need to try and keep on the right side, keep right. Left will be positioned for turning left with the right signal on. And then once we come to this point here, again, you need to look out for cars coming in because you're merging onto the major. Look for cars, make sure that it's clear. And then once you cross into the middle here, again, try and keep it right. And then once you get to the end of this bit here, you need to look out for cars coming from the left side. So we stop at these giveaway lines, so we're waiting for the cars coming from the left. And then once it's clear, then we sort of turn, and then we're going to pull up here. So again, check your mirrors, center and left, put your left signal, then you come in. Again, we've got a few driveways here, so try and make sure that you don't end up blocking the driveways. And then we're going to move off at an angle start, so we're positioned fairly close to the car in front, and then we're going to move off. Okay, so we're going to move off from here. Again, this is going to be an angle start. So main point here is you need to be moving off very slow, but turning a bit too fast to be able to, so again, observations all around, put your right signal. You're gonna have to use good clutch control here to avoid shooting off into the car ahead. So keeping that clutch to a low biting point, coming nice and slow, turning quickly, looking out, make sure there's nothing coming, and then start turning back before you end up too close into the other side. And then if it's clear, then you continue. Now at the roundabout, we're going to be turning at the roundabout. We're going to be taking the second exit on the left. Directions for Mitcham. Second exit on the left. Now these are 2 lanes as we're approaching the roundabout. So we're going to use the left lane, and as you go around this bend, again, it's quite a bit of a sharp bend. Try and keep it left. Keep in the left lane. There are 3 lanes at this point. Use the left lane. Put the left signal in the middle of the first exit, and then take the second exit. And then once you get to this road here, now this is a 30-mile zone, so we can pick up the speed. Trying to keep the speed within the right sort of limits. Again, looks pretty much clear. And then when we come to the traffic lights ahead, we're going to be turning left. So we'll begin by, again, you need to try and keep left so that you can go through the bus stop. You can go through the bus stop, you don't need to. Otherwise, if you don't use the bus stop, you may end up taking too long to get the car into the left lane, which means there might be a car that might start approaching in the left lane, and then you end up either stuck in the right lane or you try and cut him off, which again, that could cause you some serious problems. So try and use the bus stop as you're coming to position the car in the left lane. And then at these traffic lights, we turn left. Now this road here, this is the 20-mile zone. So again, look out for the speed limit. Make sure you don't end up overspeeding on this road here. Now there's a zebra crossing ahead. Again, look out for any pedestrians that could be crossing. Zebra crossing there. And then at the traffic lights, we're going to be turning right. Now the approach we're going to apply on this one here, we're going to apply the near side method. So again, as we come to turn right, you're going to try, no, this is going to be the offside method. So as you come to turn right, you're going to go a bit further forward so that you can turn from behind the cars that could be coming to turn right, and then they would come and turn from behind you. At the moment, I can't see any cars coming to turn right, so probably there might be nothing there. But again, try and keep the position right, because a car might turn up when you least expect them. At the moment, it looks clear. We turn, and then once we turn right, we need to try and maintain the car in the left lane. Again, that's the position for normal driving. Now this road here, this is a 40-mile zone. So again, you're gonna have to keep the speed up. And then as we're coming down this road, again, we've got traffic lights. If they're green, again, try and be mindful. They may change as you're getting too close. So try and keep you might ease off the gas a little bit to avoid. And then, okay, we're stopping. And then ahead, we've got a bus lane coming up ahead. So that bus lane, again, we can't use that bus lane, so we shall try and move over when it's safe to do so. So at this point, I would check your mirrors, put the signal, and try to move over into the right lane. Again, look out, don't just cross over. Make sure that you've got a clear path. There are no cars coming too close behind. And then you cross over into the right lane, keeping the bus lane clear. and then the next roundabout we're going straight ahead at the roundabout second exit, directions for Central London. So again, now once we come to the end of the bus lane, we shall move back into the left lane. So check your mirrors first, center and left, put your left signal, and then get back into the left lane. Now at this roundabout we're going straight ahead, so we shall use the left hand lane. Approach, you look into your right. Now as you come out of here, again you need to try and keep it left, otherwise you could easily end up into the right hand lane. Keep coming, and then once you get around the first exit, put the left signal, and then try to keep the car in the left lane. As you exit the roundabout, you've got a traffic light there. Again, look out for any pedestrians, or look out for the lights if they've gone red, so that you don't end up jumping the red light. And then the next instruction, we're going to be turning left at the traffic light, directions for Rains Park. Now again, you've got a car in the left lane which is pretty much packed, so you would check your mirrors, try and move over so that you don't end up too close to that car or to the cars. And then you would check your mirrors, get back in position, and then you put your left signal as you approach to turn left at this point. Again, a signal would be necessary at this point to, and then you stop at the traffic lights, and then if it's clear, then you begin to move, and then coming in. Now at this point, now this is a bit clear at the moment, but ahead there's a pedestrian, a zebra crossing coming up. Again, we need to be looking out for pedestrians crossing. We can see some pedestrians that are pretty much, yeah, I think I'm gonna have, no, she's not crossing. Yeah, it looks clear. Then you proceed. Now when you get to this point here, you need to try and position on the right. Keep right, because the left lane would be taking you straight, but we need to keep a bit right at this point. And then when you cross over, again try and keep in the right lane, still following directions for Rains Park. Now there's a sign on the left side, again Rains Park. If you can see it, we're going to be turning right, so we just sort of bear right and then follow it round, keeping, again, these are two lanes at this point. We shall use the left lane because once we go round this bend, we're going to keep left. So if you use the right lane, that would be taking you right, but we need to be going a bit left, so we shall keep left. And again, if you can see directions for Rains Park, we're going to sort of bear left. Now this road here, it's more of a bend, so we just bear left, so a signal wouldn't be necessary at this point. We just sort of follow it around. It's like following a bend to the left, so we just sort of and then proceed, keeping it left as we go round. And then now this road here, okay, traffic lights, we're going straight. Now this one is a 20-mile zone, the 20 sign is there, so again look out, make sure that you don't end up overspeeding when you're doing this, when you're on this road here. We've got a pedestrian crossing there. Again, if you got pedestrians waiting on that sort of crossing, you don't need to stop for them. They have to wait until traffic clears, then they can go. We've got a cycle lane on the left side as well. Try and keep the cycle lane clear. Trying to maintain the car at the right speed. And then so we've got parked cars on the left, so try and maintain a reasonable sort of distance from the parked cars, avoid getting too close. And then there's a bus. The bus is moving off. Again, we need to make sure that if the bus is, if you're overtaking a bus, make sure that you don't overtake a bus which is indicating to move off. You need to give way to the bus in that situation, otherwise that could be another fault which you should avoid. And then so again, traffic is a bit slow. Okay, somebody was trying to parallel park, so I had to wait for him. And then once it's clear, then we proceed. And then again, you might be asked to pull up on the left here. So check your mirrors, put the signal, and then pull up on your left. So we're moving off at this point. Again, check your mirrors, put the signal, final check, and then move off. There's a roundabout coming up. We're going to be turning left. Now this one, again, it's one lane. It's also a mini roundabout, so put your left signal, and then you're looking out for cars coming. Now there's a car which is coming to turn right. We'll have to wait for that car. There's another car which is turning right as well. We'll wait for that. The next one is going straight. That means we can go. And then, now this road here, this is a 20. So keep an eye on your speed. Gets a bit narrow, but again, there's a car which is pulling out. You slow down a bit, let him in. You shouldn't have pulled out, but again, if he does that, the best you can do is slow down and then let him go. And then again, we've got some parked cars on the left side. Make sure you don't end up too close to these parked cars. Maintain a reasonable gap, roughly a meter. Now this is a bit, it's still a 20. Again, just try and maintain a reasonable distance from the parked cars. Don't get too close. And then at the mini roundabout coming up, we're going to be turning right. So this one is it's a bit of a closed one again, so you need to come in a bit slower. Check your mirrors first, center and right. Put your right signal, and then we coming in, dropping it back to gear number 1. Look out for cars coming from the right, make sure it's clear, and then take the turn. Now once we turn into this road, it's quite a narrow road with cars again parked on both sides, potential for meeting situations here. So again, look out if a car is coming in and he's already committed to go, you might have to hold back and pull up somewhere on the left and then let that car through. Otherwise, if it's clear, then we go to the end and then we're turning left at the end at the traffic lights. Checking your mirrors first, center and left, then left signal, and then here, now this is a 20-mile zone, so just be mindful of the speed limit. And then we're coming to a roundabout. Now on this roundabout, we're going straight ahead, the third exit, or the instruction would be we're taking the third exit on the left. So there are 2 lanes as we're approaching the roundabout, so we're going to try and keep the car in the left-hand lane. No signals in the left-hand lane. You're slowing down, you're dropping it back to gear number 2. You look into your right, there's a car coming in on the right. Okay, he's gone. There's another one. Okay, looks clear. And once you come out, you need to try and keep in the left lane. Leave enough room for the cars in the right lane. Past the first exit. Once you get to the second exit, that's when you put your left signal and then exit the roundabout in the left-hand lane. And then shortly after that, you've got zebra crossing coming up. Again, look for pedestrians which are coming they're waiting to cross. Now this one is a 20-mile zone, so again, try to maintain the car at the right speed. Gear number 3 would be ideal. And then we're coming to the end of that test route. Then we're going to pull up on the left. So check your mirrors first, center and left signal, and then come in, and then you pull up on your left.